With the 2025-2026 NFL season officially coming to an end, Sundays might be over, but the real drama is just getting started. Free agency is right around the corner, and today we're going to be breaking down the top free agents and where they might be potentially headed in this 2026 offseason. Starting things off with my man, NFL Youngboy. As you see, don't get distracted by the handsome man in your bottom right corner, where I've actually given you the stats of this man and all the other free agents, some key notes to keep in mind. If you just want to sit back and enjoy your lunch and listen to this too, go right ahead, right? So George Pickens had a breakout year. He is phenomenal. Honestly, I love watching George Pickens. He's one of my favorite players to watch. His run after the catch ability, he's so lengthy, right? You see him running with the ball in his hand, and it looks like he's going to jump over somebody. It looks like he's going to throw that long, rangy stiff arm, to keep the defenders off of him. But he finished this season 93 receptions, 1,400 yards, 9 touchdowns, 15.4 yards per catch, and was a second-team All-Pro member. Great season, one of the best receivers in the league. He's a free agent. Now, he's one of those guys where I don't think he's going to leave Dallas. He did just break out. He fits in that offense so well. But I could see the Denver Broncos, my Denver Broncos, being a sneaky team to land Pickens in this Pickens sweepstakes. I'm sorry for being I have a bit of the tism, right? Or the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens have always needed a receiver one for Lamar to be able to throw the ball to. But I don't foresee that happening. And as you'll see in the 6 side, yeah, Cowboys retain Pickens, right? I think this is pretty set in stone. I don't see him leaving Dallas. I would love to see him leave Dallas because I don't think he'll ever win anything in Dallas, as the famous DeMarcus Lawrence once said. Next, Devin Lloyd, very underrated middle linebacker. I think he's one of the best linebackers in the league, top 3 for sure. 5 interceptions last year. That was tied for first amongst all linebackers. 43 solo tackles. Doesn't pop off the charts, but he is really good in the run. Second team All-Pro. I only care about All-Pros, except for when it comes to the big boys. I think the big boys still have a case for why Pro Bowl candidacy is valid. Now, he was the 3rd grade PFF linebacker, but I do think he's the 3rd best linebacker in the league, behind Fred Warner. And I was going to say Roquan Smith, but I don't know about that. Might be the 2nd best backer in the league. Potential landing spots. The Buccaneers. Levante David's getting older. He's had a great career, but Devin Lloyd would instantly spark that defense some new life, right? And they're still kind of in win now mode. They have some big free agents. We'll talk about one of those later on in this video, but I could definitely see the Buccaneers shilling out some money for our boy Devin Lloyd. Now, the Jacksonville Jaguars, he did just have a breakout season, just like George Pickens. A lot of these breakout free agents or a lot of these top free agents are going to be breakout players. That's why they're the top free agents, right? But I don't think they can afford losing Devin Lloyd. He's the centerpiece of that defense, and they were really good last year. And I think they're kind of in a win now mentality. And I'll say that with a lot of these teams today is they are in win now mentality. And what I mean by that is they want to contend for Super Bowls, right? Next team, the Cincinnati Bengals. They need a linebacker. They might draft Sonny Styles. I don't hate that pick. I like Sonny Styles as a prospect. He's as if you built a linebacker in a lab and said, I want you to be the perfect linebacker. That's what Sonny Styles is. But they don't have to draft Sonny Styles if they're able to acquire Devin Lloyd in free agency. And that defense needs all the help it can get, right? And this is another team who's in win now mode. I know it's funny to say that, but they have Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, all on huge deals, right? They don't have much investment into the future. And I think Devin Lloyd is a win now player. Where do I think he'll go? Well, sadly, I think he's going to stay in Jacksonville. I'm not going to say sadly. I like Jacksonville. I'm a big T-Law supporter, right? T-Law is a great quarterback, in my opinion. I was saying this last year. When people were down on him, I was saying, no, don't be down. I was actually saying he should go to the Vikings. But we're not going to get into that today, right? I think the Jaguars retain Lloyd. He was so good for them this season, right? And I don't see them losing him. Moving on to our third ranked free agent in the 2026 free agency class, we're going to have center Tyler Linderbaum. Now, Tyler Linderbaum is an interesting case because he's one of the best centers in the league. As you see here, 97.2% pass block win rate, tied for second amongst centers. This is one of my favorite points right here, though. 87 overall on EA Sports, John Madden Football. That's a hell of a player, right? And that's really how most people, including myself, I'm sorry, I'll get better at evaluating linemen. Now, this tells me that he's going to go onto a team and instantly be one of the best linemen, if not the best. 3-time Pro Bowler. He's 25 years old going into next season. I think he's missed the Pro Bowl once, maybe his rookie year. So he's been one of the best centers of the league since he's gotten here. Right, top landing spots. The Seattle Seahawks. Now, they did work on their O-line last year by drafting Gary Zabel in the first round, right? And that was an amazing pick. But I think they still could use some help. And little known fact, they have $73.9 million in cap space. So they have a lot to work with, right? They have players getting great production for little pay. Nick Emmanwori, Gary Zabel, previously mentioned. A lot of guys. So, and they still want to win. I don't see why not. They're one of the best teams in the league for sure going into next year. The New York Giants. Now, I seen he was linked to the New York Giants because his previous head coach, John Harbaugh, just signed there. And I could see him doing this because I do like what the Giants are building over there. Jackson Dart looks pretty good. Cam Scatterbo looks like a beast. You know, who knows where Wan'Dale Robinson goes? I didn't talk about him in this video. But who knows where he goes? But they have Malik Neighbors. They could possibly draft some weapons. Bolster up that O-line with Tyler Linderbaum. Right? Not the toughest division in the world. You got the Cowboys, the Eagles, and the Commanders. I could see the Giants winning the division next year, especially with help from Tyler Linderbaum. Lastly, the Las Vegas Brady's. Now, I call them the Brady's because I fear them, honestly. Because I fear that Tom Brady is cheating over there. And I'm not getting into that. Unless y'all want me to, I'll make a whole video on that if y'all want me to. But I like what they're building over there. Mendoza, we know he's going one. Genty, I love that. I'm so high on Genty. I think he had a case for Rookie of the Year. He played all the games. He had 1,000 yards total. I think receiving and rushing. Maybe just rushing. Either way, 1,000 total yards. Right? He should have been in there. He didn't have no help from his O-line. Guess how we can help him out? Tyler Linderbaum. Brock Bowers is a beast. I like what I like what Las Vegas is building. Let's get Tyler Linderbaum over there. Or will we? No. The Giants are unfortunately going to snag him. Due to my divine intuition, I think he's going to like what the New York Giants are building over there. He's going to look at the division. He's going to see how weak it is. And he's going to go see if he can contend with the New York Giants. Next player. Indiana Jones. Quarterbacks like this are now very valuable. After seeing what Sam Darnold did, I mean, a player is a system away, right? This is how I feel. A player is a system away, especially a quarterback. And we've seen Indiana Jones thrive in his system last year. He threw 3,101 yards, 19 touchdowns, 8 picks with an 100 QBR rating. He was hurt for some of the season, so stats would have probably been a little bit better, right? And they would have been better throughout the season. The Colts would have. They would have made the playoffs. Top landing spots for our boy Indiana Jones. Goes back to the Colts. I could see this happening because what are the Colts going to do? They have way too high of a draft pick in this draft class to shell out a first-round pick for Ty Simpson because Mendoza's going to be off the board. Who else are you going to go out there and sign? Mac Jones? I mean, turn the ball over? I don't know. The Steelers, I think they're going to rock out with A-Rod for another year, but Indiana Jones would be a healthy addition, right? I call it a healthy addition because it's not going to hurt you. We've seen he's a solid quarterback. He's made the Pro Bowl before, and maybe they just want some sustainability in Pittsburgh, and I think Indiana Jones provides that. And the New York Jets, self-explanatory. They need everything. Quarterback where it all starts. He's not that old. Mistake me if I'm wrong. Let me look really quick. The kid's 28, right? Has plenty of time. His play style, I could see Indiana Jones playing until he's 35. So, yeah. Where do I think he's going to go? Boo, another retain. I know, I'm so boring. It's okay. I do think the Colts retain him. They have no other options. It's as simple as that. They need to shell out this money. They have a decent roster, but going into quarterback purgatory is dooming that roster. So I think the Colts retain him. Moving on. Alec Pierce. Speak of the Colts. My favorite free agent receiver. 21 yards per catch. That's the big thing here. 21 yards per catch. That's huge. He had 47 receptions this year and still had 1,000 yards. As you see here, 1,003 receiving yards, 6 touchdowns. I think we might be seeing our first move of the video. I think this guy's not staying in Indianapolis. I think he might go to Buffalo. Now, we know Josh Allen needs a target. Khalil Shakir ain't cutting it. The Cookie Monster ain't cutting it. Not cutting it, right? Alec Pierce would be great. I mean, I can just envision Josh Allen doing some cheesy-ass shit, scrambling out the pocket, launching a big one, 75 yards down the field, and guess who's down there? Alec Pierce. The Tennessee Titans. Pretty self-explanatory in my opinion. Cam Ward needs a weapon. I like Cam Ward. I'm a big Cam Ward fan. I'm not going to say I like what the Titans are doing, but they have potential. And they have more potential going into this season than they did last season, especially with a signing like Alec Pierce. Their defense is solid. What's 33's name? Cedric. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Their linebacker, he's really good. Jeffrey Simmons. They have some pieces, and I could see him. I think he's 27. Let's check. I'm going to check again. 25 years old. Young. He fits in right with this Titans team. He's approaching his prime. Let's see if we could go do something in Tennessee. Next, the San Francisco 49ers. Ayuk has been one of the biggest disappointments ever. I hate Brandon Ayuk for what he's done to the game of football. Driving past the fucking stadium at like 70 miles per hour. Here, watch this clip. Moving on. I think Brock Purdy needs a new receiver. I'm hearing that Juwan Jennings isn't re-signing. So, Alec Pierce, get him right in there. They'll have the white boy quad duo of Alec Pierce, George Kittle, Kyle Juszczyk, and Christian McCaffrey, and Brock Purdy. I mean, hey, that's some fundamental football, right? That's going to be some fundamental football being played in San Francisco. If this happens. Now, where do I think he's going to go? The Tennessee Titans. Yeah. They're going to shell out some big money for him. They're probably going to overpay for him. But that's okay, because we need to help our young quarterback, Cam Ward. Moving on. Trey Hendrickson, the most overrated free agent in this class. He was hurt last year. He was really good the year before. Led the league in sacks, 17.5 sacks. I'm not going to talk too much about 2025 because the Bengals were a disaster overall in 2025. But Hendrickson is another win now guy. He's 31 years old. He's approaching that time in his career where he's only going to go to a contender that he's going to instantly put at that next level. And the Colts, I don't think they're contenders, but get some help for Laitu Latu off that other side. I believe that the D coordinator that he got this 17.5 sack total with is now the D coordinator for the Colts. The Chicago Bears, win now mode. Caleb Williams looks great. Get some help on the other side of Montez Sweat. Their defense isn't terrible. It played kind of bad in the playoffs, though. We see from teams like the Texans, the Broncos, the Seahawks, and the Patriots, the 4 best teams in the league, in my opinion, that generating pressure is super important. So that's a big need for the Bears. And the Chargers. The Chargers are losing both their edge rushers in free agency in Khalil Mack and Odafe Ofe. However you say the brother's name, right? Odafe Owe. And both solid edge rushers. They're going to need someone to replace that. Trey Hendrickson is perfect. Self-explanatory. Who gets him? The Colts. I'm low-key pissed because I feel like we've been talking about him a lot this video, and they're sorry. But it's okay. He's going to reunite with his XD cord. The Colts think they can win that division, but they can't, guys. Trust me. Even if they retain Jones and get Hendrickson, don't be worried about the Colts. That last season collapse, that end of season collapse was everything we needed to know about this team. And nothing has changed about them. So how are you going to expect me to change my opinion? Moving on. Breece Hall. Solid back. Really solid. I love the 4.4 yards a carry. It's 28th in the league. And you might say, what? But 4.4 yards a carry is what you need. What's 4 times 3? It's 12. 10 yards is a first down. So you want a guy about averaging 4.4 yards a carry. 4 rushing touchdowns. I'm going to chalk that up to the Jets being bad. I'm going to chalk most of these stats up to the Jets being bad because when I've watched Breece Hall play this year, he really was good. In that Bengals game, he was the reason they won. That crazy game against the Bengals, he was carrying. I feel like in all those games where the Jets were in those weirdly close games with pretty good teams, I felt like I was watching the Breece Hall show. Kansas City Chiefs. Now, they could draft Jeremiah Love in the first round, and I could be dumb, and they get Jeremiah Love, and he's one of the best backs we've seen since, well, Ashton Genty a year ago. But Jeremiah Love's a great back, but they could just bring in Breece Hall, draft someone else. I'm always a big believer in if you can sign a really good player in free agency that you were going to use a draft pick on, sign that player, use the draft pick on something else because that's how you build a great team, right? You got to take risks. Get Breece Hall, get your guaranteed back. Now take someone like maybe Spencer Fano if he falls. I don't think he will. Maybe Francis Magoya if he falls. Or an exciting player, Jordan Tyson, right? Carnell Tate. Because you have Breece Hall in free agency. That's what I'm doing if I'm the Chiefs. But that's why I'm not a general manager of a football team. The New York Jets can retain him. He's young. They need talent. They need to keep all the pieces they can get if they ever want to be a serious football team. The Arizona Cardinals, another joke of a franchise. I don't know where their direction is headed because, Kyler Murray might play another year, and he might surprise us. Kyler Murray's not the worst. Sometimes when I watch Kyler, he is really good, and he's exciting to watch. I just don't believe it in anymore. I don't believe in Kyler. I don't believe in the Card. I need the Cardinals to reset. And basically what a reset means for an NFL franchise is a new quarterback. That's how you reset. But Breece Hall is good. James Conner kind of falling off. Trey Benson hasn't panned out like they wanted him to. So Breece Hall will fill in for that. Running back, probably be the best running back in Arizona since prime David Johnson. And they're going to get them a prime David Johnson. Shout out to my guy. If you're watching this, I know you want Breece Hall, and I think you guys are going to get him after seeing what I've seen on the internet. It seems like a realistic landing spot. Mike Evans. I love Mike Evans. It breaks my heart to see his 1,000-yard streak gone. Because he really was just one of the most underrated receivers in history. And the longer that streak would have went, the more recognition he would have gained. But my key notes here, he was injured all of last season. That's why there's no stats here. He's looking to win now, right? He's 33. He's going to be 33 by next season. And he's got himself a ring. Now, he could stay in Tampa Bay like you see. I don't think that's going to happen because he's a great receiver. You see this with receivers like DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones. And it's pretty funny. These big body receivers often do this. I see great big body receiver. They like going contenders when they get to this point in their career, and I don't blame them. Who are the best contenders he could go to? Well, the Denver Broncos. Like I said earlier with George Pickens, I think we need another receiver. I would love Mike Evans in Denver. I think he would thrive in Denver. I think Sean Payton is really good at scheming big body receivers open, as you've seen with Courtland Sutton, Michael Thomas in the past, Marquise Colston, and I think Mike Evans can be just that. The Buffalo Bills, self-explanatory. Josh Allen needs somebody to throw the ball to. And Mike Evans might not be the most expensive player on the market because I think he's one of the best players on the market. I don't think he's going to be the most expensive player on the market due to his age, due to the injury last season. Baltimore Ravens, similar case with the Buffalo Bills. They need to get Lamar a weapon. They haven't. Now listen, I don't know how high you guys are on Zay Flowers, but I hate him. He fumbles too much. Fumbling is one of the biggest pet peeves. If you're a real NFL fan and if you're a football player, if you've played the game of football, like myself, you know fumbling is a no-go. And he fumbles way too much. And he runs side to side. Yeah, he made the Pro Bowl this year, and that shows you how much of a joke it is. Because there's no way. I'm sorry for hating Zay Flowers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers could be a loyal guy, just a chill loyal guy, loves it out there in Tampa. His kids go to school there, who knows? But fuck all that. He got money. His kids can go to school anywhere they want. I think the Buffalo Bills signed Mike Evans. I like this signing. It's simple as getting Josh Allen somebody to throw the ball to. Moving on. Towards the end of the video, these are the players I didn't mention, mostly because I don't see it as too interesting to speak of, or I think they're going to re-sign with their team. Kenneth Walker. He's great. Stop giving Charbonnet the ball. I hate you. I love Kenneth Walker more. No one wants to see Charbonnet tote that bitch. We all want to see Kenneth Walker become the greatest running back of all time. But he's going to re-sign with Seattle. They're on some sus stuff, though. You've seen how the GM was moving. He's sus. Play the clip.
To Ken Walker being the MVP. Let's go! Woo! He tried negotiating with me 5 minutes ago. It was really weird. Anyway, hey, MVP, MVP, MVP,
Jalen Phillips. He's a really good player when he's playing. Keyword when. He doesn't play too often. He gets hurt a lot, but he is really good. He honestly could be one of the best edge rushers in the league if he stood healthy for the 17 games that they play. See him signing back with the Eagles. They traded for him mid-season last year, I believe, from the Dolphins. So I don't see them wanting to let him go. Lastly, Tyreek Hill. Now, I would love to see a Tyreek Hill resurgence. He had an awful injury. I don't like preying on players' downfalls to not come back from their injury, but it's a tough injury, and he's older. I believe he's 33. So he's a similar case with Mike Evans. He wants to win now. Baltimore, Kansas City, New England. He's always posting some cryptic shit about Kansas City and New England, I'm pretty sure. He'd be running routes with Lamar Jackson, and Buffalo needs a receiver once again. So if you want to take anything away from this video, it's that Buffalo needs a fucking receiver. Right. That'll be the end of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow my socials down below, or else Stefon Diggs is going to date your sister. Sorry.